Hey there friends, it's Carly. I hope you're all doing so well and that your 2024 has started off swell. Today we are resetting for the second month of the year. I cannot believe that it is February already. So we're going to be planning, reviewing our goals that we set at the start of the year, doing a house reset, and obviously my book wrap up as well. So if that's something you're keen to see, grab yourself a cuppa and let's get into the video. I always love to do a house reset and refresh as part of my monthly reset routines. It's not necessarily a full weekly clean or a deep clean, just a few things to make the house feel nice and fresh. So I have changed over the bin liner of the main bin that we use in the kitchen, and I've also taken that out to the rubbish and taken out the recycling. At the moment I am unstacking the dishwasher full of clean dishes, and then I've got a few dirty dishes in the sink that I'm going to put in there also. I also had some of our linen on in the dryer in the garage, and that is done now. So I'm going to go fold that up and put it in the linen cupboard. And I actually recorded the cleaning over 2 different days. So that's what I did on this day. And then on the second day, I was just starting by watering some of the plants. I have a few plants out on our patio out the front, and then a few fiddle leaf figs around the inside of the house. So I'm going to water all of those. I'm also going to put on a load of laundry and fold up and put away some clean laundry. And then I had a pile of stuff next to my bookcase that I wanted to donate. I started going around the house and rummaging up those things in my home clean and declutter video that I put up in January. So if you haven't watched that, make sure you go check it out. But now that I've got this pile, I'm going to put it in the boot of my car as an incentive for me to take it to Vinnie's or the Salvos or somewhere to donate it. A lot of places aren't accepting donations at the moment, so I need to kind of figure out which ones are. I will also be making a full wardrobe organization and declutter. I really want to get in and totally pare back all of my clothes, so that will be coming up either this month or the start of next month. So I will probably add those things to the donation pile, but more than likely I will drop them by my mum's house and let her and my sisters have a look through them first. We always do a bit of a clothing swap, and it allows us to have some fresh pieces without having to pay the price. Also got just a few dishes here that I'm going to put away and just give the kitchen countertops a bit of a wipe down as well. I want to start off with a little bit of planning and organisation. It has been a busy couple of weeks at the end of December and then through January with heaps of appointments for both myself and Hunter, and it's kind of been like hard for me to get my head around like what date it is, what day it is, all of those things. So a planner is certainly necessary, and I'm sure February is going to be likewise as busy with appointments and visitors as well. So So I'm going to plan a few things in my diary. I'm also going to use my little YouTube journal to plan out my February videos. I am going to sadly drop back to 1 video a week, at least in February, just to kind of get my head around like the new schedule with Dave going back to work and me being at home with Hunter by myself, and kind of like him getting into some sort of routine, or mostly me getting into a routine around him, I suppose. And then I'll probably also do some work on my computer. I just need to create a thumbnail for a video that I've recently scheduled. So let's get down to business. I also just want to show you guys my planner for the year. So I picked this one up at Aldi quite some time ago. It was in the middle aisle, and it's kind of got this material cover, which makes it very aesthetic. And I do have in there some stickers from my previous year's journal that I hadn't used up. So I am going to use those in this one, but I'll just give you guys a quick flip through. So starting off, we have this beautiful little cover there. Love the colors. And then the first page is also stickers so that you can kind of organize your events. And then the second page is stickers as well. So we've got top priorities, important parties, like little pictures, little to-do lists that you can kind of stick in there as well. And then this is what the spreads look like. I'll just turn to a random page. We've got a full weekly spread, and then down in this bottom corner we've got a space for notes and to-dos. And I like this because I feel like it's enough room per day, but then you also have this little corner in case you want to write a few extra things. And then if you flip to the back, another beautiful kind of picture there. We've got some lined pages. And then in this one, it's to-dos, more lined pages. And then flipping back to the notes section as well. I also like that it's kind of a binder, so that each week, once I'm done with it, if I like, I can take the entire page out, because I don't like really having the pages in there of dates that have already passed. It just makes it so much easier to open it straight up and turn to where you need to go. So I really like this one. I feel like it was a good purchase, definitely very practical and also quite aesthetic as well.
On a weary line, too scared to trust you and jump down. I'll keep my status quo up here, won't let anybody come near. I'll fix it on my own. 29 years I've been the same, trying so hard to run from shame. Can I keep up the pace? To fool myself, I don't need grace. Will you be there to catch my fall? Need to be sure you'll hear my call. Darkness surround me and I don't know why it's so hard to let go. Why it's so hard to let go.
You are seeing me at my most tired and delusional, but at the very least we're going to talk about something that I love, and that is books. Now, I have 2 months of books worth to recap for you because I didn't talk about my December reads. So in December, I read 2 books. One was Emmanuel by Ruth Chow Simmons. It is a Christmas devotional. And then the second one was One Day in December. So firstly, this one, I loved it. It was just obviously a super very easy read. I just read each of the daily devotionals and they were all geared around the festive season and the message of Christmas. I guess. I love Ruth Chow Simmons. I love her artwork. I love the way that she writes, and I like this book. I think it's definitely something that I'm going to bring out every December, just to sort of get me in the Christmas spirit and continue to have like that godly connection, I suppose. So I'd probably rate this a 4.5 out of 5. One Day in December was a very sweet read. It was essentially about two star-crossed lovers, if you will, who kind of always had this pull and draw towards each other, but for varying circumstances couldn't be together. They were in different relationships at different times. And then obviously we're going to have some sort of happy ending at the end there. It was an easy read. It was a nice read. It wasn't like particularly captivating. You know that I love like those thrillers or like fast-paced type books, but if you are interested in something like a little bit more sweet and wholesome, this will definitely be for you. But for me, I would probably rate it maybe a 4 out of 5. So still a good rating, but just not as intriguing, I suppose. And then my 2 January reads were Who Are You Following by Sadie Robertson Huff, and I've actually read this one before, so this is a repeat, so obviously you can tell that I did enjoy this. I actually decided at the start of January, and I'm not sure what really triggered me to do this, but I deleted my TikTok and my Instagram. Obviously with breastfeeding, I'm spending a lot of time sitting down, and while I was trying to pick up some books and do some reading in that time, I was also doing a lot of excessive scrolling. And I just really found that while YouTube I could gain a lot of information and inspiration from, I wasn't finding that I was necessarily getting that from either TikTok or Instagram. I found that it was a lot more mindless. And I also just felt, particularly with Instagram, I wasn't sure that I was providing any value in my content, that I was just putting things out there, and it seemed just really egotistical for me. So I felt like I just needed a break from it, just to kind of reset and think, what is my purpose in using this app? What am I contributing to the world and to my community by using this? Because I really want whatever content I put out to be helpful or inspirational or meaningful to people in some way. And I feel like reading this really just helped to regain that fresh perspective that I needed. So I feel like if you do need a bit of a tech detox, or if you really do want a bit of more of a Christian perspective on social media, then having a read of this is definitely recommended. So I'd probably rate this as a 4.5 out of 5. And then my second book for January was In 5 Years, and I started reading this and I just felt deja vu, because it seemed incredibly similar to One Day in December, in the sense that there was these two people who couldn't be together. Obviously the guy that she sort of envisions ends up dating her best friend, and like that exact same storyline happened in One Day in December. So that instance, like the major plot element was basically the same. I liked this one because it was set in New York, and I feel like New York just has like a very kind of romantic, whimsy kind of element to it. But I don't know necessarily if I liked this one quite as much. And I can't really put my finger on why exactly. It's still nice. It's still a very sweet and uplifting read. So same deal, if you're looking for like just a wholesome kind of romance, definitely would recommend for you. But for me, I'm maybe going to rate it at a 3.5. Now it's time for me to pick out my February reads, and I'm honestly not exactly sure of what I want to read. I think the first one that I would like to read is It's Not Summer Without You, which is the second installment in the the Summer I Turned Pretty series, which I've already read the first one. I have already started watching and didn't finish actually season 2 of this on Amazon Prime, so I would like to read the book, mostly because in Australia February is our last month of summer, so I do want to keep those summer vibes going. So I think this will be my first one. And then I think I need to switch things up a bit because I've had a few romances, and this is obviously like a little bit more teen-ish and romance type vibes. So I might go with something a little bit more like a thriller edge. I think I'm going to go with Nothing More to Tell. A Body in the Woods, a cold case turned hot, a story to die for. It's by Karen and McManus, and this is the same author of One of Us Is Lying. I don't think necessarily that this is kind of like a consecutive story. I think that this might be new characters, new storylines, but it's definitely got that thriller angle to it. I'll just read the back for you. True crime can leave a false trail. 4 years ago, Bryn left St. Ambrose School following the shocking murder of her favourite teacher. The case was never solved, but she's sure that the 3 kids who found Mr. Larkin's body know more than they're telling, especially her ex-best friend, Trip Talbot. He's definitely hiding something. When Bryn gets an internship working on a popular true crime show, she decides to investigate what really happened that day in the woods. But the further she dives into the past, the more secrets she finds. 4 years ago, someone got away with murder. Now it's time to uncover the truth. So, I mean, this is not like a summer read. It doesn't have February vibes necessarily, but I like that I've got like a really strong contrast in kind of genres here, and I think that that will keep me interested because I like to do like a chapter or 2 of one and then switch over to the other. I don't sort of read one and then read the next. It's weird how I operate like that, but that's just what I do, I guess. Gotten myself all nice and comfy in my breastfeeding chair because the next thing that I want to do is have a revisit of the goals that I set myself at the start of the year, now that we've reached the end of the first month, just to do a little bit of a reflection and inventory on how I'm going. And I've just had a scan over them, and I'm going to be honest with myself, I haven't been going so good. So in case you didn't see my kind of New Year reset video, the 5 goals that I've set myself for the entire year, so I haven't really necessarily set a month by month basis goal, but if we kind of break it down and chunk it down, that's what my monthly goals would be. So my first one is have a weekly planned family activity. Now, I have found this particularly challenging this month because I have had so much anxiety about leaving the house, and we've had a fair few issues with Hunter in terms of sleeping and settling, which has made, you know, his daily schedule unpredictable. We have had a few outings which I felt really good about, just about getting out, seeing new people, new places, that. So I'm hoping that as we cruise into February, things will start settling down, we'll get into more of a routine, and I can actually be more strategic with that goal. The second goal is be earning an income for myself by working in the online space. And I mean, I certainly have been working towards this goal this month. I got monetized on YouTube at the end of January last year, so it's been a full year of being monetized. I earn only a very small monthly income, if you will, from my YouTube videos so far, very small, but I'm still very proud of my efforts and the fact that, you know, 5 or 6 years of being on YouTube, I continue to create weekly videos, even if there is no remuneration coming from them. So I am working on this goal. I'm still earning something each month. In January, I did put out 2 videos a week, even though it was a particularly hectic time in terms of just, you know, having a newborn baby and getting used to that, and having a lot of like illness, physical and mental myself. Obviously things will be changing as we come into February in terms of my upload schedule, but likewise, hopefully once we get into a routine and I get settled and feel a little bit more confident in myself, I can go back to those 2 videos a week, which will help me with my goal. My third goal is exercising for at least 10 minutes a day, 3 to 4 times a week. And I'm so glad I put that 10 minutes a day. I found these videos on YouTube from the channel's called Belly Strong, I think, and they're all about like pregnancy and postpartum workouts, and they're all like around the 10-minute mark, and I've been doing those for the last couple of weeks, which has been fantastic. So there's 3 videos a week. There's like a stretching one, a core and pelvic floor one, and then a body weight one. So I've been doing those 10 minutes and I've been doing 3 of them, so I can tick that box. I have actually achieved that goal for this month so far, and pretty much every day I've been getting in a dog walk as well, so that's good. Number 4, build a vegetable patch and cook with fresh produce from our garden. There is a lot of yard maintenance and construction that needs to be done at the moment, and building the veggie patch is like way down the line, so I actually can't even achieve that goal at the moment. But cook with fresh produce, I have been doing more cooking and we have been eating healthy, so I suppose at least in part that goal has been, you know, making a move towards. It's not fresh produce from our garden, but like I said, we can't really achieve that goal just yet. And then my 5th goal is create consistent daily and weekly routines that prioritize family, coziness, and slow living. And I think in some realms I have been struggling with this goal, because creating a routine with Hunter at the moment is challenging to say the least, but I've also been trying my best to make sure that I have been incorporating elements of coziness and slow living and healthy practices into my day-to-day life, whether that's even just like practicing hygiene and like taking care of myself, whether that's, you know, doing those exercises, getting out and taking the dog for a walk, reading my books, even just like filming videos that are all about romanticizing the day-to-day. I feel like in some elements I have been working on and achieving that goal, so I'm not going to like get down on myself. And I think this is what happens to a lot of people. We set goals or resolutions, and when we haven't seen progress by the end of January, we think, oh well, it's too hard, or I can't be bothered, or like whatever the excuse might be, and just give up. I'm not going to give up on any of these 5 goals, because they are things that matter to me. They are priorities, and I think they're all things that are going to enrich my life. So I encourage you, if you haven't had a great start to the year like I haven't, let's just reset. Tomorrow's a new day, February's a new month. We have the whole rest of the year to make it a great year and achieve our goals. And I am literally telling you guys, but I am preaching that to myself right now as well. I hope you guys enjoyed planning and getting organized for February with me. I really enjoyed doing all of these monthly reset routines last year, so they're definitely something that I'd like to carry over into this year. And if there is like a particular segment that you'd like me to start integrating into my monthly reset routines, make sure you leave me a comment below and let me know. If you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe. I put out new videos every single week. With that being said, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your week, and I'll see you all in my next video. Bye guys.